Something I've been thinking about lately, partially due to some of the podcasts I've been listening to, is inspiration. And the inspiration that I've had in taking on some YouTube channels and getting back into making on a more regular basis. About 6 months ago, I'd had a bit of opportunity to watch a few YouTube videos, and a few channels come to my attention. And it fairly quickly came out that there were some podcasts to listen to, so I dug out my iPod and started putting some podcasts onto it so that I could listen to some of these people. And that turned into a bit of a binge listen every opportunity, walking the dog, listen to it in the mornings, making breakfast, and it really quite inspiring. Along with the podcasts, as it's common in the maker community, many of the making podcasts often recommend other people to look at, other podcasts to listen to, but particularly YouTube channels to look at. And I started watching more and more YouTube. Yeah, it really is inspiring what is out there on YouTube. Unlike some of the podcasts I've listened to in the past, which were either people trying to just be funny or were talking about some very serious subjects, what interested me about the Maker Community podcast were the honesty of the people talking. And I would regard some of the people I'm listening to as quite famous, but I think it's fairly clear that when you hear them talking on podcasts, that they're actually very genuine people. I've actually made a list. I've got myself my Maker notebook. Got Al's Hack Shack sticker on there, and I've made a list of podcasts and YouTube channels from memory, without looking up on my subscription list, of the people who have had some influence on me over the last 6 months, the people whose style of videos I like, the people who have inspired me to actually start my own channel. And I thought I'd sort of share that with you, the viewer. Opportunity to give a bit of a shout out. I'll put a list of channel links in the description below. Some of the podcasts are available on YouTube, some of them through iTunes and SoundCloud and other mechanisms. I'll start with the podcasts first of all. One of the very first podcasts that I started to binge listen to was the Modern Maker podcast. Ben Ueda, Chris Salamoni and Mike. Yeah, some great channels, some great carpentry, fine woodwork, some interesting making, particularly on Ben's part. His kind of design influence, very fascinating. And I found that really quite interesting to listen to. That was a fairly new podcast. It didn't take me long to get through their back catalogue. It was then I discovered the Making It podcast. Boy, oh boy, that was just a complete revelation again. I'd already come across then, at this point, Jimmy DiResta, Bob Claggett and Dave Picciuccio on their own channels. And their building is fantastic. Jimmy DiResta's talent, his hard work over many years to develop the skills that he has. He makes builds look effortless, and yeah, he comes across a genuinely nice guy. To come across those three guys talking very honestly, I actually got from those three alone got some quite important messages for people starting YouTube channels. Yeah, don't wait for perfection. Yeah, if you wait for perfection, you'll never start. My channel is far from perfect, and I know that, but I had to make a start. If I waited till I was perhaps, as I think, good enough, I would probably never have started. So just get it on and do stuff. Yeah, I'm learning the skills as I go along. I use the hashtag sometimes on Instagram of always learning, and for me that's the key thing. Be consistent. I think that's an interesting one, because I think consistency is something that if you are consistently bad, that's not a good thing. Consistently improving, I think, is important. I think you can regard consistency in many different ways. From Making It, Reclaimed Audio. They've just celebrated their 100th episode, 2 years. Just listened to that this afternoon. You got Tim Sway, Bill Lutz, Phil Pinsky. 3 fantastic guys. All 9 of those guys, I feel like I know them so well now. They have no idea who I am. It's so easy to listen to. They're just 3 guys who obviously are very, very good friends, and having good, honest talking. And their celebration of making and the make community and Reclaimed is something that I'm very interested in. I do like to try and reuse stuff for a number of reasons. Environmentally and ecologically, it's a good thing. Financially, it's a good thing too. From Reclaimed Audio, moved on to, maybe I said too much, a relatively new channel. You then got people like Izzy Swan, and that guy is just such an inspiration. Faking It, Andy Berkey, just stands out there. I'd love to to spend some time in his workshop and just talk to him and pick from his brain. If I could learn 1% of what he knows, 1% of what Izzy knows, 1% of Jimmy DeResta knows, my building skills would go through the roof on my scales. Makers International, I've just finished catching up on their back catalogue the last few days. Again, 5 guys. I've had a little bit of contact with Chris Cute on Facebook and also with Joe. Fantastic guys. Honest talking, some good humour. And yeah, it just shows that, again, the community that it's out there within the maker community. And that's such a great thing to start to become part of. The inspiration to just go and make stuff. You listen to a podcast and you think, I actually want to go and make something now. And it's interesting how the sort of maker community pulls together on things and deals with each other. Yeah, I like the kind of, maybe I said too much, guys. Joel has sort of a motto of, don't be a dick. And yeah, it's a good way to think about things. Yeah, if only more people had that, it'd be a far better place. Now, YouTube, there's some massive inspiration there. My subscription list has expanded massively over the last 6 months. There are some people who every time they upload a video, I'm watching it within a few hours, if not within a few minutes, for those that upload on the weekend. I've already mentioned Jimmy DeResta, Bob Claggett. I like to make stuff. I'd love to spend some time with him. I think we probably have quite a bit in common. David Pachuccio of Make Something. I hope I pronounced his name right. I probably haven't. Tim Sway, Izzy Swan, Bill Lutz, Phil Pinsky, Bill Duran, Punished Props. Yeah, again, inspiring in kind of that model making. I'd like to get into that and try a few more of those things, as well as working with wood. Foam stands out. I love watching Adam Savage on Tested. I love his one-day builds. The guy's got so much enthusiasm. He's done so much for promoting science and technology, which as a physics teacher I find absolutely brilliant. Just carrying on from that list from some Americans, one more I'd like to add. Very small channel who I think really needs a lot more attention. That's Tom Peterson of Reuse Refuse. Produces some amazing art from junk that he picks up on the side of the road. I just absolutely love his work. It's absolutely brilliant. Of the Europeans, non-UK based Europeans, one of the first I came across was Christiane from Get Hands Dirty in Portugal. Producing some fantastic builds. I remember watching her build a high-level bed, which is a project that I did a few years ago for my eldest. It's just fantastic seeing her work. That led me into then Laura Kampf. Laura's work, her videography, is absolutely sublime. I love watching her videos. She's an amazing builder. She works in a variety of materials. Her videography is just unique and such a pleasure to watch. A couple of the Europeans that I've come across recently who I also find fascinating, and I think you should check out if you don't, is the Red Smith. His work, a little heavier in terms of materials, a little bit of blacksmithing, is fantastic. And again, perhaps with a little bit of a science slant, Giacomo or whatever, I think we could have some fun together working on some of your projects, particularly with some of that slow motion work that you do. But the UK's got a good maker community. In no particular order, just this order that I've come across things. Keith Brown, Rag and Bone Brown, using reclaimed materials, working on things. Fantastic work, very inspiring. Nice to see somebody working in a small workshop. A lot of the Americans with their huge workshops, something that I'd love to have. But if you've watched my Tales from the Tinkerage channel and seen my workshop tour, you know that I work in a very small workshop. Prickly Sauce, some great design work. A guy from the West Country. He's produced some fantastic pieces. I wish he'd put work out a little bit more often, but he's a professional. He's got client work to be doing, and that obviously has to take priority. But I'm always looking out for when he puts things out. A little bit of maker, a little bit of tech guy, a little bit of nature, atomic shrimp. Again, fascinating some of the things he put out. Again, I try and watch his videos as often as I can. I love his style. Again, sort of guy I'd love to perhaps sit in a pub and have a pint with. Brain Fu, that £90 Thor's hammer and some of the projects there. Again, I think we could possibly have some fun. I like the idea of sort of things going bang, breaking things, testing physics to the limits. You can't go far in the UK at the moment, or on YouTube, in the maker community without this guy's name coming up, Nick Zametti. He's the driving force, the brains behind Maker Central. It's a big event taking place next summer at the NEC in Birmingham. Check it out, it's going to be great. I've already got my tickets booked for that. So looking forward. There's some big names going to be there. Quite a few of the names that I've already mentioned, the American names, are going to be there, and that's going to be one great weekend. His channel, if you haven't come across his lathe work with coloured pencils, you really should check that out. Even if you're not into wood turning, his work is just absolutely beautiful. Joe Whitaker, Average Joe. Joe, if you're watching this, I know what you mean by saying that you're an average Joe, but you're far from average, sir. You are a very talented maker and a very talented videographer, and you are a very kind man, and you're a big part of the maker community in the UK. Peter Millard, a professional maker, works in London, produces some lovely work, and he explains how he puts things together very nicely. I do like his style. Not fussing a jingle, I'm afraid, though, Peter, so I often just zip through that, but that's just personal taste in music. But I like his style, and again, I think I'd quite like to maybe sit down with you and have a pint sometime and chat about things. Now, a few people I've come across a little bit more recently during the summer with quite small channels, although getting bigger, and again, people who have inspired me in a variety of ways. Stephen Watson, Steve's 8x6 workshop, tiny little shop, beautifully set out, and produces some fantastic work, and his videos are getting better and better, and hopefully so one day we will meet up as well. Steve Maker, small channel, getting bigger. I think he's a guy who's going to go a long way, and I think he's going to produce some good work. Quite active on social media, quite active on Instagram, putting out a few videos. I know he's got a job that keeps him out of the workshop quite a lot, and I know he wants to spend more time there. As his workshop develops, I think we'll see better videos and we'll see more projects. I think he's got a lot of enthusiasm, and I think he's going to go a long way. So if you haven't checked out his channel, do check out Steve Maker. And then there's Al. I've already mentioned Al's Hack Shack, Alex Halfpenny. Al's Hack Shack, he is going somewhere. I think he's possibly going to be the British Bob Claggett. He's producing some fantastic work, some great builds, some fantastic hacks. He's only got a small number of videos at the moment, but probably by the time this video goes out, close to or just exceeding 500 subscribers, which in the time he's been out is absolutely fantastic growth. And I think he's only going to get bigger and bigger. So if you haven't yet checked out Al, do that. His work is great. It really is great. And you'll have seen on my Tales from Tinkerage channel, I've made him a bottle opener. Hopefully by the time this goes up, he will have got that, and I hope he enjoys that. Social media that I've been sort of on and caught up with people on Facebook. There's some great Facebook groups in the maker community. I like to make stuff. Bob Claggett, his channel, I think it's over 13,000 people in that group at the moment, putting up some very inspirational work. You've got Chris Cute and the other guys from Makers International with the Makers on YouTube Facebook group. Chris is quite active on there, and very quick to give out advice. Obviously a very nice guy. Wacky Maker, it's another group. You've got Dale there, produces some fantastic work, and there's some other people producing some fantastic work. Quite artistic. Love to see the work there. It's great to be part of a community quite quickly that you can sort of actually talk to, you can give advice to, get advice from. Instagram, quite a few of these people are active on Instagram, and I quite like that you can just pick up just sort of little snapshots of what people are working on and their style. When I came across on Instagram, who's now very active on Facebook and YouTube channel, is Sophie. Sophie from Make It With Soph. Young Welsh lady who's producing some fantastic modelling, very artistic. Again, someone that's going to go a long way. Now, I know there's loads and loads of other people that I haven't mentioned. These are the people that over the last few months have become influential and inspirational in what I've been doing. If it wasn't for some of those people, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel, and I wouldn't have got back into making in the way that I have. There's some of them have been very encouraging. To hear people talk like Jimmy DeResta and Bob Claggett, and to say things like, you've just got to get on and do it. Don't worry if you're not perfect. To hear them say that they think their early videos weren't good enough, but they've improved, is fantastic to hear. It's very easy, I think, in the media world to see things on computer and think, oh, that's really, really good, that's fantastic. And of course, not to understand the process that's gone there. Hearing them talking about that, encouraging people to also have a go, to say that there's space for more channels and more people doing things. That's great. That's what community should be about, and the maker community is about, where people can give you the confidence to have a go and to do things. And I encourage anyone that likes making, however good you are, if you want to get into making but don't make, listen to some of these people, watch some of their videos and have a go. Don't be put off by some of the fantastic work that's out there that might make you think, I could never do that. There's work out there for everyone on YouTube. It shows how to do things. You don't need super tools, you don't need fantastic equipment. If you've got just the will, you can make things. And if you've got a phone, why not record it? Why not set up a YouTube channel? If you don't want to do that, just make things, enjoy the making. If you like social media, look into some of the communities. There's some fantastically supportive people, and anything that you want to know, either through YouTube or through Facebook, Instagram, you can find it out. Anyway, I think that's enough about inspiration. But inspiration for making and for YouTube. At some point I'll talk about other inspirations in my life, but that's one for another time. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll have some more videos and vlogs on this channel soon. But if you want to hear more, if you want to comment, please like, share, subscribe, put comments in. I like chatting to people. I like hearing what you think about things. If you can think of some other people that have been inspirational to you, please write it in the comments below. I'd love to check out other people. Always looking for ideas, always looking for further inspiration. Thank you very much.